Well, it's not often that a longtime injustice gets corrected, but in the case of one KC baseball legend, it could happen. Neil Jones has the latest on former Kansas City Monarchs manager Buck O'Neil and his continued quest for Cooperstown.
There was a time when very few people remembered or even knew there'd been Negro League baseball, but Buck O'Neil changed that.
Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd.
One of the central figures of the Ken Burns baseball series on PBS, O'Neil educated America about the great Negro League stars.
The Negro League was nothing like Hollywood tried to make it.
Thanks to Buck, the Baseball Hall of Fame convened a special committee to select the Negro League men and women for induction into the Hall. But jealousy and politics combined to leave Buck off the list. It was a decision that sparked national outrage.
The experts, some with conflicts of interest like books they'd written about their own favorite candidates, others with grudges against the Negro League's museum, turned Buck O'Neil away to their and baseball's eternal shame.
But now Buck O'Neil gets a second chance.
Come December, we'll learn whether or not Buck O'Neil finally takes his place in the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
This is quite an honor for me.
He already has a statue in Cooperstown, a sign of respect from the men and women of baseball. But perhaps now he'll take his place as an actual Hall of Famer.
This announcement will be made at the winter meetings, and we're all, again, have our fingers crossed that this will finally happen.
By ordinary standards, Buck O'Neil was not rich or powerful, but his integrity and grace earned him the respect of millions. And that's what's helped drive this latest Hall of Fame effort.
I think most fans out there have been so vigilant in the belief that he deserves to be in the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
He's been gone for 14 years now, but the spirit of Buck O'Neil lives on at his creation, the Negro League Baseball Museum. At 18th and Vine, Neil Jones, KCTV 5 Sports.
Thanks, Neil. And like many museums across the country, the Negro League Baseball Museum was forced to close its doors due to COVID-19. But baseball fans and civil rights activists have stepped up to help lessen the economic hit. It was supposed to be a year chock full of events celebrating the centennial of the Negro Leagues, but that's now on hold. So local artist Greg Kreindler started a big push for donations by issuing a challenge on Twitter to match his $100 donation. The idea took off and raised $14,000 in just 24 hours. Kreindler says it's an example of people wanting to support civil rights and Black history, especially with the growing fight against racial injustice in today's world. Museum President Bob Kendrick says it's important to remember the purpose of the pictures on the wall and everything the players' stories represent.
Because I think for anyone who maybe looks at this story as just a baseball story, you're missing it. Yeah, and I think that's why the Negro Leagues Museum is so important. I think it is more important today than ever before, because it is indeed a civil rights story. It is a social injustice story, but it is about triumph over those adversarial situations.
The staff also launched a fundraiser where people can actually pay for local school group tickets in the fall. Museum doors will officially reopen on Tuesday.